Hey y'all. Okay, so I'm finally set up. I'm finna start editing so I can try to go ahead and finally get this third episode uploaded for y'all. Don't mind me, I'm just having some Cheetos. But stick around. Episode 3 is coming up soon. Shortly? Soon? It's coming up. Just watch. Welcome back, friends. So, I just popped in today. I actually already did this, but I didn't. Y'all have to excuse him in there hollering. He is watching football, so it is what it is. But anyway, I actually already did this vlog, but I did it with my other camera, and I didn't like the way that the camera looked. It was like really, really blurry, and um, I was like, do I go ahead and use it, or do I just go ahead and just re-record the whole thing? And I just re-recorded the whole thing. Today was great. My gout is still in a flare, but it is what it is. I did decide to go ahead and go to church. I was not gonna go after yesterday. Yesterday was okay. I went ahead and I went to the wedding and I did the notary for my neighbor, and it was a beautiful wedding. Everything was nice. Of course, Murphy's Law, but everything went off. I got their document notarized and everything was good. And but my foot was hurting so bad. I don't know why this gout flare is lasting as long as it's lasting, but it is lasting, and so it is what it is. But today I decided to do just to pop in and do a little piece on Jack. As you guys know, that we are on a journey to train him as a service dog. We've been working with him a little over a year now, getting him trained as a service dog. Many of you don't know, I do suffer from anxiety, PTSD, and bipolar. And so Jack became my service dog by accident. He started to apply deep pressure therapy, and before I even understood what it was, he was doing it in response to my panic attacks. And so in talking with my practitioner, we decided that it was a good help for me to kind of increase my quality of life if we went ahead and trained him as a service dog. However, training a service dog is expensive. Having a service dog is expensive. So I had to do a little digging. And in my digging and my research, I realized that in the U.S., you can train your own service dog. There are training programs that you can purchase, that you can go through the program and you can train your own service dog. And so that is the route that I took. I do, however, reach out to professionals whenever I feel stuck, or if there is a behavior that I feel like I'm not trained enough, or I'm not, I don't have enough skill to get past it. And that professional is Redemption Dog Education and Retailer. And I will definitely put a link in the description so that you can check her out. She is a wonderful trainer. She really focuses in on your energy and your dog's energy and helps you to utilize that to train your dog. We did take Jack for an evaluation with her, and she helped me to understand some things about myself as it relates to training with Jack. And so that has helped us a lot on the journey to get him trained as a service dog. Our goal is to get him ready for his public access final test in December. and have him TSA ready by January so that he can fly in cabin as a service dog when we take our move to Panama. Um, the training has been it has been you know, when I decided to do this, one of the biggest things I had to tell myself is that I have to be consistent. And that's hard for me, especially having ADD. Consistency requires focus. And that's something that I struggle with on a day-to-day basis is focus. I may do something, start on something and not pick it back up for 2 or 3 days. Hence, hello, the vlogs. But I think I'm doing a pretty good job because I uploaded a vlog the other night and I'm working on one now, and it's only been 2 or 3 days. So I think I'm doing good. So training him requires consistency, and that can be hard for some. I get up at 4:30 every morning, and 5 o'clock to at least 5:30 is 30 minutes of training time with Jack. We will work on something that maybe he is not doing as well as I expect. Like right now, we're working on Leave It for him. Leave It. With Jack is not treat motivated, especially outside the house, but he loves to eat. And so if you leave some food where he can get to it, he will get to it. And so we're teaching him Leave It. And that's actually going pretty well. We're getting him, I don't generally have a desire to take him into a restaurant, but in the event that I have to, I do want him to have the training and the behavior to be able to go into a restaurant and place himself under the table and remain there and not be sniffing for and begging for food. And so we're working on that as well. And when you've been that type of dog parent who feeds your dog from the table even though you're not supposed to, it's difficult because they give you those puppy eyes because they know how to beg. Biscuit is really good at it. I mean, oh my God, she will make you give her the clothes off your back. She can't even wear them. But it's something that we're working on. But it's been a wonderful journey, a very rewarding journey to see how much he has grown as a service dog. I did, like I said, when I got stuck, it was because Jack had started resource guarding me. When we would go to the dog park or when we would be out and people would approach me, he would give off a low growl as though he felt like somebody was trying to do something to me, or he didn't want anybody to approach me. And that's, well, I'm not going to say it's okay because it's not okay, but Jack knows that I don't really like crowds of people. And one of the tasks that he is learning is crowd control. But he also needs to distinguish between crowd control and mommy's uncomfortable with this person. This person is making mom uncomfortable, so I need to do something. So basically I reached out to Reed at Redemption Dog Education because I was concerned about him resource guarding. But she really did an evaluation on him to just basically see where he was with his public access. And we did identify some areas where he did need work. One of his biggest areas is noise control, or noise in general. He does not like noise. His anxiety level goes through the roof, and both of us can't be anxious. I did learn that he feeds off of my energy, and a lot of times when I get into a crowded situation, I immediately get anxious, and so he immediately gets anxious, and it's hard to control him because I'm anxious. So it's like almost like the handler needs a handler to handle the dog and the handler. So it's a bad situation all around. So I'm even learning as a handler how to control myself so that I can better control him. And it is a learning process for not just Jack, but for myself as well. But in our path to learning and training on our journey as far as training, my pastor, who is also my brother, but my pastor has stepped in and he's become a part of our training team. In order to desensitize Jack to noise, he has to be around noise on a consistent basis. And at home, because I don't go out a lot, he's not exposed to noise. So I went to my pastor and I asked him if Jack could start coming to church. Now, you all know that by law, churches, because they're private entities, they are not bound by ADA laws, and they don't have to allow service dogs into their facilities. But he was gracious enough to allow us to use church as a training facility for Jack to desensitize him to noise. So I was really grateful for that. He is a phenomenal pastor in that way. He is definitely a trendsetter. He's not afraid to take chances. He's always gambling on me. To say the least, he's always taking a chance with me. But he's definitely not afraid to step outside the box, and that's what sets him apart from everyone else. He is definitely a trendsetter. Like I said, he doesn't say, nah, we're not gonna do that. I don't think. He's like, yeah, let's try that. Let's see what works, because he wants to include everybody. It's like no member left behind there. He wants everyone to feel accepted. He wants everyone to feel loved. He wants everyone to feel included. And I love that for everyone there. Everybody feels a part. Nobody feels left out. So he has allowed us to bring Jack, and my church family is supportive as well. I love the way that they respect his space. When he is working, they're very respectful of not petting him, no touch, no talk, no eye contact. They're respectful of that. And if I allow Jack to clock out when we're at church, like today, we had a cookout after church. So I did let him clock out so that he could mingle with his church family and let the kids play with him. They're very respectful of that, and I'm so appreciative. So, yeah, that's been working out really well. He started last Sunday, and he did have to get used to it because church is loud. It is what it is. And so when we first got there, he would not go in. Like, I had to drag him to our seats. And it was like the music was, it's like the drums. I don't know if it's just the drums, but the music was loud for him. And I have hyperacusis anyway, so I wear safety headphones when I go to church. So I have to dampen the sound myself. But he didn't want to go to his seat, so I had to drag him to his seat. And when we're at home and there's like thunder or fireworks or the guys mowing the lawns, generally he goes into the bedroom and he gets under the bed. Well, there's no bed to get under, so he tried to get underneath the chairs. So that was a fiasco. But he finally did settle down, and he settled in place like he normally does at home, and he was quiet for the remainder of the service. And he's definitely good around the people. He doesn't sniff or jump up on anyone or tries to greet without being allowed to greet. And so in that manner, he's doing really well, and I'm very, very proud of him. Today was much better. He actually walked in. He hesitated for a minute before going to his seat, but he did finally go, and he settled in place, and he stayed settled for the remainder of the service. So he's doing a great job. And again, big shout out of appreciation to my pastor for allowing us that space to train him and bring him to church so that we can get him desensitized and ready. But like I said, it has been a journey. It is one that we enjoy. It's been fun. It's been challenging, to say the least. It is a very huge challenge. Nothing that I saw myself doing, but I'm always up for a challenge, and I want him to be trained because so many people misrepresent service dogs, and it makes it difficult for those of us who need and depend on service dogs. And one of the things that I encounter when I do take Jack out, and it's really a disturbing trend, is that it seems to be people's place, or they feel it's their place, to try to discredit your service dog. So they come to you and they start asking you a bunch of questions. They want to, how old is he? And, it's like they're working their way up to try to discredit or see if they can figure out whether or not he's supposed to be a real service dog. And that is where, as a handler, you have to be confident in knowing what your rights are and where people need to back off and stop asking you questions and what you do or don't have to answer. My husband is a big advocate when we go out, and people start questioning, because I really don't like to talk to people that I don't know. I'm big on. I'm still working on that. I don't talk to strangers. Stranger danger. But I don't like for people to come to me and start questioning me about Jack. If you're not an official person, and like you're in a place of authority, you don't need to walk up to me and start questioning me about my service dog. It's not your place. If you're just generally curious and you have questions, that's different. But some people are just doing it because they feel like, okay, you don't have a real service dog. And I don't understand that mentality. I really don't. For some people, it's you don't look like you need a service dog. I don't know what a disability looks like to some people, but all disabilities are not visible. But I digress, because people are going to be people and they're going to feel how they feel. But anyway, I'm not even going to get on that soapbox. But child. Anyway, but he's doing a wonderful job. I am super proud of him. We're going to continue working with him. And we're going to, just keep bringing you little updates on him. And hopefully he'll be ready for his final public access test in December. And hopefully he'll be fly ready in January. Because we're still on path to make our final big move in January. Hopefully that's still the plan. If anything changes, we will definitely let you guys know first, because you are doing life with the Daniels. We thank you guys so much for watching, stepping in here, taking this time out with us. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment if you like. Any ideas, anything that you want to see, anything that you want us to talk about, any topics, drop it in the comments. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor, reach out to somebody, have them subscribe to our channel. We're not professional vloggers. We're just doing this for fun. And remember, you do life, don't let it do you. See you next time.